Good evening. Our topic today is on metaverse as a service. So, like cloud computing, everybody of us know about it. Uh, it was in a similar spot of contemplation almost a decade ago. Now we see metaverse, Web 3.0, and based on the personalized experiences that uh, most of the organizations are aiming to give to their consumers, I think metaverse gives a big advantage where one is more enveloped in the experience than any other mode we have seen till now. So one can exercise, socialize, play games, do personal and business ventures in this particular virtual world which aims to be like real. So based on that, I'll be weaving the conversation with our esteemed guest, Mr. Rajesh Uppal. He doesn't need any, I think, introduction. He has been an industry stalwart in technology, and his name is synonymous with Maruti Suzuki. You all know almost one out of the two cars on Indian roads are from Maruti. So, uh, and Mr. Uppal has been with Maruti since decades. With the organization has, I think, steered the path both in technology. So if we take people, process, and technology, I think he has his imprint in all of these areas for this great organization for which he works for. So another big one, like I just wanted to take as the first question. We were having a prior conversation also on that, but yes, I'll leave it for him to explain it better for all of us. What is your view on the practical applications of metaverse in hardcore business world?
Thanks, Rajeev. I think nice to catch up again in a forum here. And thank you, ET, for inviting me here. I think as Gartner says, any technology goes through a hype cycle. And today is stage where I think we're finding traction on this technology to find use cases to do that. As a Maruti Suzuki, we launched Nexaverse recently as part of our launch for the new product, Grand Vitara. And if you look at the way I think this technology will work and adopt in energy, maybe it'll be 4 different domains where it will find going forward big traction to be adopted. First and foremost, as I said, is a business to consumer kind of environment, giving experience to customer. And we and Maruti Suzuki has been working on have a digital experience for customer where end-to-end life cycle of customer management, can we digitize that or not? In fact, last count was out of 28 touch points, we have 26, 24 or 25 already digital on place. And then each one of them, how do we improve the quality of engagement is something to look at that. So the Nexaverse or the customer experience, that, how digital you can give experience to the customer in depth to maybe a digital showroom where a typical showroom is maybe a Web 2.0 or normal kind of work, where it could be give you immersive experience of, getting into the car, interiors, accessory fitments and so on and so forth. Everything around that, work on a showroom and give that experience to the customer with one again, And not only for in our industry, I guess in retail also, I'm giving you a mall experience of buying as we go along and selecting what you want so that you can manage that, Now, that's important is the customer experience is going to be one big area of work, and we will find many use cases of doing this. Second, obviously, what I think Rajeev just talked about will be a gaming industry. Gaming, is, as you all know, is more than $200 billion industry, and with the time you're getting more and more engagement into this. I guess Metaverse will make it much more engaging and much more involved, and ensure that, you know, people online virtual environment across the globe using it for various applications, I think will be a second big area of work going forward. Third, I feel that, you know, in industry like ours, since the skilling becomes a major issue, especially practically in our environment, when in a field of mechanics to be trained in each and every workshop, or the sales guy to be trained on the thing, or even the maybe denting shop of the vehicle showroom to be trained. So giving them again experience. Today what we do is we have the online teachers sitting in one location. At all dealership we train them real time. But again, giving them immersive experience of practically doing it both digitally and physically simultaneously, I think can give effectivity of those learnings to much better and do that. Or similarly, virtual universities and all those areas will be a third big area where Metaverse will become a very key fundamental technology to work on. And last is basically, I also feel maybe immersive entertainment. And then that also will be a one big area of work and all, where you know, having all the current way of doing ORT and all what we're doing, and making it possible that a new metaverse platform you get into that. Maybe Facebook coming first and creating their name to Meta. I guess the whole buzz is at the peak of using this technology in the industry, and going forward, maybe we all will start finding out best use cases possible. Maybe in in our Nexaverse, we started with a small journey of customer experience at dealership, but our plans are to really make sure that this whole experience can be treated to each and every customer for anywhere you come and do that. Maybe we need an enabling technology to be there to support this initiatives of ours.
Fantastic. That Nexaverse, it's a new terminology we got to hear. But like, given the technology maturity that we are seeing over, like we have heard from Dr. Rajinder also before, so many things happening across in India, and a lot of maturity coming in various technology which are upcoming, like emerging ones, 5G and all that will give a unlimited sort of a bandwidth at the end. There is a need to even democratize metaverse. So metaverse as a service will be more required for larger set of companies, like Maruti, of course, or Maruti Suzuki is, of course, with big financial muscles and all. But to make it more pervasive, I think mass or metaverse as a service could be one of the platform. So what's your view on that?
Absolutely, Rajeev. I think, as started with Gartner hype cycle, you know, it started with the high expectation and all, only niche players, and you do that. But once it becomes a stability, I think all enabling technologies to support this will come into place to do that. Maybe some start has happened with some of the service provider, like, I'm forgetting the name. Just give me a second, I'll note it down there. Yeah, Roblox and some other companies who are creating those platforms to start with. Maybe they can start doing good beginning to somebody to try that out and do that. But I guess Metaverse as a service, along with the cloud service provider, I think it will become one of the big service when the use cases grows and go forward. And I see this is one trend which will get a higher scale. Moment people start making a business case of doing it, frankly, I'm saying. So, see, any investment we do as an organization technology, you need to get returns on that to do that. Are we getting more customer traction? Are we doing that and all? So once we start making use cases and all, I think enabling technology will start maturing further where it is. And I guess very soon, I see this becoming a one big dimension of technology going forward, adopted by the industry as we go now.
Okay. So we have seen, like, obviously SaaS doesn't need any contraption on your heads. You can simply adopt it. We have seen it. Metaverse as a service will probably need some equipment coming on your head or contraptions that you may have to attach to experience it. But having said that, I'll take your cue from Meta, which Facebook has renamed themselves. So even recently, Zuckerberg said Meta was working on a new class of generative AI model. So that will allow people to describe a world and generate aspects of it. Now he showcased an AI concept called Builder Bot, which allows user to describe what flavor of metaverse they want the AI to generate. Now, in your view and in favor of creativity, is it a okay model or does it need to be regulated before such technologies see day of light? I think it's an apt question when even our
Rajeev, I think my view is very clear. The technologies are there to enable you to do creative. Creativity is a very human effort, frankly, and that's something which comes from people around. Now, if you have a creative mindset, you can get technologies to really verify that or do it faster for visualization. I think up to that extent, technology like this can help you to do that, and to that extent, this technology can fast-pace that work of adopting. But end of the day, I think it's human capability and creativity which will be required to really make sure that you create a right use cases for this to do that and all. Maybe the same, this kind of technology is coming from Facebook, maybe do it enable of execution little faster than what it do, but creativity will still come from the people behind it. That's my personal thought on this to work on. Right?
Of course. So obviously there could be cases where an anti-social element would like to create his own metaverse. So that's why my question was whether it needs to be regulated in some way.
I think Dr. Kumar talked about cybersecurity as India being this thing. The fact is that any technology you come out with and all, its misuse come along with that to handle that. So while designing, you need to take care of that. These kind of technologies which can be misused by somebody to get into are taken care while designed into the application to do that. And that is part of the whole development or deployment process for any company. And you need all enabling systems to come in. We're getting 5G now, and along with that, all the cyber security framework which need to support that kind of speed and all things will has to come along with that. So as part of your design, I think you need to take care of those elements on that. But those, the disturbance due to any misuse or all those things around to come in are part of the whole scheme of things what we do in the industry, and this will go along with our process to go on. So I think while the positive side of technology will be to really create more business value for the business user, and we adopt that, and while doing so, all those nuisances need to be managed as part of the system. I think that's my thought on it.
Great. I think that could be one input that goes to the data privacy or protection bill that, or the new avatar that we are going to see. Hopefully this will come into that as well. Coming to the next question, we have seen a slow transition which is happening from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0 of late. It's still too mature though. I would say Web 2.0 is still in majority. And Metaverse, when we are creating also in a different standards as of now, I would say.
Absolutely.
Being created all across. Interoperability may become a challenge if we don't follow certain rules or standards at this stage itself. So any thoughts on that?
I think reusability of your digital assets is always a challenge when you move from one technology to others to work on. Today, those challenges exist when you move from one cloud to others and so on and so forth. So the interoperability, because these being two very different technologies, I guess there's the opportunity and the kind of work people have done on creating digital assets on Web 2.0, 3.0 on, some of those could be used as a concept over there. There will be some enabling technology for migration will also come along with that as we go along. But I don't see this to be a, very clearly connectable directly and all, because these two technologies are two very different enabled technologies around. But some of the digital asset migration, some tools could be available to be doing that and all. And maybe migration will be I guess, some possibility. But in total interoperability will be a major challenge, because we're talking about two different technologies. And based on two different enabling technology to work, I think is the important consideration, which may not allow a complete interoperability together between the two cases, I guess.
Yeah, but we'll probably love to see interoperability between metaverse, where somebody going from Nexaverse to a shopping complex to try out something in one of the metaverse of some other departmental stores or.
But as I was saying, this is at a very initial stage of technology. Yeah. It's an exciting technology. I know with the very speed we could develop our Nexaverse in it, but there are very basic, platform we have built, and every sprint we are coming out with a newer, richer version of that. And right now we are showing it only at our dealership, so that continuously we give a better and more immersive experience to our customer at the showroom. But with enabling, and we are waiting for, in fact, we are working with some service provider for the 5G connectivities and all those pilots along with that, so that we can make it little more wider available and to the consumers to use anywhere over there and all. I think we are waiting for some enabling parameter to be there. But as of now, I think continuous innovation and getting more and more richer digital content, and also making it more immersive with respect to all spectrum of business is the plan which we are trying to drive right now. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Rajesh. So we have heard how metaverse can probably transform the user experience to something much more personalized than what we have been seeing today. Obviously, there are many obstacles to be crossed till we reach a stage of adoption, I would say, in a very pervasive manner. But I think that's what we had time till now, but I'll open the floor for questions because it's a very interesting emerging topic. Any questions, please feel free to let us know. We still have 2 minutes.
Good evening. So thank you, Mr. Rajesh Uppal. So don't take it as a question, just your inputs on that. We talk about metaverse. We think it as a space which is beyond space, right? So in the emerging technology, we move to the virtual space. Do you foresee some virtual currency also will fall in India or land in India to tackle such situations?
I think when you go to a gaming space, the whole, people buying land on the metaverse, people are doing trading on that metaverse. I think as of now, that is really growing fairly fast among the youth and try to experiment it out. So digital currencies, buying lands and maybe advertisements and all. When you see this as a platform, I think this is coming up right now. As I said, right now it is more at the stage of visualization and the seeing how does it work. But in time to come, all those things will mature into this and all. And maybe it will need some government system to support those transactions to happen as we go along. Today, since we don't allow a lot of things as our government protocol to happen, so it's more onto a virtual space only right now, frankly. But hopefully, I think this will become mature technologies going forward. And our gaming industry, I guess, will take it forward to a next level for engagement. That's my feeling on this. Frankly.
And you talk about Nexaverse. Can we think we can sit in our bedrooms, just log into those virtual spaces explore your, maybe your showrooms, talk to the sales representatives, take a demo sitting in our home. So such kind of experience you are talking about in
Absolutely.
next hours.
Absolutely. Going forward, I think, right, as I said earlier, current enabling technology allow us to really provide that only at our showrooms.
Right.
But going forward with 5G coming in, I guess this will be the first, maybe one of the first use case which will get out to the public, and people can browse and shop
Yes, we can decide what color
inside
we
buy
want to
itself
book.
and all.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I think one more question somebody wants to ask there.
Yeah, Mr. Uppal, the way this 5G technology we are, and can we use this type of technology for like Google, they give us map and they give us something accident prone area. Like recently Cyrus Mistry had a problem. So why not to make use of this type of facility?
I think if I've heard correctly, you said something like Google Map on today can there be on the metaverse.
Yeah, that can be used for accident prone areas.
Accident prone areas around.
Like recently Cyrus Mistry had an accident because of that area was not properly.
See, maybe I'll attempt to answer that. See, today also there are simulation softwares available that simulate the traffic. And they are not now, they have been used for decades across in advanced nations, they have been using it. And I'm not sure about whether we are using here in India, because we usually don't anticipate such bottlenecks or traffic issues even before we start building roads and bridges. But there are these software available. On the metaverse, I think it's a virtual environment. If you want to give somebody an experience of traffic, how it may be, you can do that, but I don't think it will be...
it may not be a right use case.
Yeah, use case may be different. Yeah.
Okay. We don't have time.
I think we are much over our time, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much.